welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this first game here in the East between the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics, the 4-5 matchup here in the East. We're going to see the duo of KD and LeBron for the first time together in the playoffs. And their opponent is going to be the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, in a very good supporting cast built by owner BJ. Cheppy, what are you excited to watch in this game today?
Well, my heritage, my upbringing has taught me that there is nothing better than some Celtic tears. So I'm really hoping for this 30-point blowout.
Very, very possible, especially with this Brooklyn team. Brooklyn looked as the favorite for a lot of people here in the East, as they do have the experience of a LeBron James-led team, and you cannot forget Kevin Durant as well, as well as a pretty good supporting cast with Joe Harris and Robert Covington still here. So it's going to be an interesting series for sure. Brooklyn
And
is going to win this
thing. We've seen how this thing went in the regular season a bit. You know, they had some blowouts. Boston was not really competitive, but we'll see how the coaching playoffs is when the coaching, I think, shows a lot. People put a lot of time and effort into thinking through their game plan, and maybe Boston can show something, you know, that they weren't able to before.
Absolutely. KD starts off quick here with a three, and this Brooklyn team, not quite the juggernaut in the regular season we thought they might be, with the putback right there from JV. As they ended with the 4 seed, a lot of people thought coming into the season they would be kind of like a tank, but it seems that they might have coasted a little bit more and ended up here in the 4 seed, but still home court in the first round. LeBron almost gets stripped there, gets back inside for the jam, and KD and LeBron doing what they do best to start this game off, a dunk and a three early.
You know, in that duo, I think people look at the Kyrie, Harden, Durant thing, but this is even scarier than a big three, I think. It's the greatest player of all time paired with maybe the greatest current scorer at least in our game.
And you cannot scoff at the depth for the Nets either. They were able to assemble a pretty good starting five as well as a decent bench.
And their sixth man is in the running for sixth man of the year right now, Spencer Dinwiddie, and he might even win that thing. So they might have the best top 6-7 players in the entire league.
And the concern here with Boston is obviously that they do not have the level of defenders you probably need to defend KD and LeBron. So it's going to be a struggle for them, but they're hoping Tatum and possibly Jaylen Brown can take that task in this series. Pull up from LeBron, that's good. Not for 3, but a 2 right there. Brooklyn up 9-4 early.
And looking at Kemba Walker's defensive matchup, I can't help but think that's a little unfair. That he has to go up against LeBron, and he has to probably guard LeBron too.
Not to mention a nightmare. Wow, and KD with the rim protection right there on Oubre. LeBron other end, gets fouled, goes to the rim, does that very well. Not to mention that when it comes to defending Brooklyn, it's very difficult. They have LeBron, KD, and Robert Covington to defend that perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Covington honestly is a guy who it's kind of a question mark what you're going to get out of him offensively, but defensively he's one of the best at his job, and he definitely adds to this sort of the defensive identity of the Nets for sure.
Ran out on the perimeter, gets inside. No good. Boston responds right there with the Oubre shot.
They made a midseason trade for Oubre that some people thought wasn't going to work out, considering they traded Gordon Hayward for him. But right now, Oubre could provide that offensive spark.
They're going to need Oubre to help out, contribute a little bit. Obviously, Boston has a lot of offensive firepower, but they can always use more, especially against a team like Brooklyn.
And when you're starting someone small, which is Tatum at power forward, then I think the goal is not really to outlast, but more to outpace.
Oubre gets the foul right there, and you're absolutely right about that. It's 13-10 game right now. Still pretty close right here, but we've seen KD and LeBron really assert themselves early on, which is what you'd like to see if you're the Brooklyn Nets. LeBron
can
gets
just let
inside, too easy. Too easy.
You know, it doesn't seem easy to do what he does, but actually if you had his body and his talent, then I think you could just you tear up this league. And when you have Kevin Durant as a teammate, it's a foregone conclusion. Playoffs is kind of a, I don't know. Do we even need to have this right now? We'll see. Right now, it's honestly closer than I thought it would be. 5 points.
Sorry, Boston has held in here so far as we start to see some of the benches coming in. Burks gets inside, throws it off to JB. Burks wide open from three. That's good. Boston's going to need that bench contribution, as Brooklyn, while they do have some good bench players such as Spencer Dinwiddie, not as deep as possibly Boston. LeBron back inside, too easy. And Jaylen Brown is giving it his all right now, but again, one of the greatest players of all time. It's going to be difficult for him this series.
Well, he gambled on the pass steal, and that's the risk of the gamble, I think, is you put yourself out of position if the offensive player recovers from the steal you're trying to make. And there you saw
Burks not able to get that to go. KD gets inside and puts that up. A tough shot from Kevin Durant, but right now, Cheppy, it's looking like it's almost a mismatch for KD and LeBron in that one-on-one situation on the offensive end.
Oh, well, listen, these guys... Oh, nice.
Good pass.
See? KD there, I think he took the gamble that Jaylen Brown took the last time, and for either of them it didn't work out. But you see how just a small defensive error can get you immediate 2 points in the bucket right there. That's NBA.
And
one small mistake.
Chosen one turns into the frozen one right there, so he steps out of bounds.
I don't think Michael Jordan never stepped out of bounds ever.
I can't remember a time in my mind that he did. Kemba right here, they're looking for production from him, but it's going to be mighty difficult with LeBron James on him. Tatum getting swarmed in there, and Dinwiddie, possible 6th man of the year, gets the steal, throws it to LeBron. He kicks out for the three, no good. Thought we were
LeBron never takes an open corner three. He usually passes those to his teammates, so maybe a little unfamiliar with that shot.
We figured he might go for the hoop right there, but he pops up with three. LeBron looking to score early.
That's scary. LeBron being aggressive early is not what you want to see. You want to see him coasting. You want to see him doing a little less. Right now it looks like he's playing like it's the finals.
Aldridge was starting for this Nets team earlier in the year, but moved to the bench to provide more of an offensive spark. KD.
Oh, well, LaMarcus Aldridge has a checkered history in this league, and maybe some people don't really value what he brings to the table, and maybe he belongs on the bench. But this will be his last year. He's going to retire after this year, so the Nets are going to do their best they can for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Absolutely. Joe Harris hits the three right there, another underrated part of this Brooklyn team that they're hoping can provide some spacing. So far, 22-18 game. We've seen some pretty spaced out scoring from the Celtics and a lot of scoring from the duo of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, well, spacing is not the real talent of this team right now. It's the young guys, and we can see that in Isaiah Stewart, the sub for the Celtics, a rookie coming out in the playoffs. We're seeing a lot of those, actually. A lot of rookies getting a run. We just had the Magic play a bunch of them, and now here are the Celtics.
That hits a three right there. Absolutely. We've seen a lot of the next generation of players getting some real minutes here in this first round of playoffs. Kemba hits that. They're going to need that from him this series.
Long two. The foot on the line is something we have had trouble with in this league. I think we need some rule changes in the offseason. Maybe shorten the three-point line. These guys aren't very used to it.
Taj Gibson in the game now for the Nets. Sets the screen right there. Dinwiddie gets inside. Almost gets it to go, but no good. Spencer Dinwiddie, like we said, 6th Man of the Year candidate. Upcoming free agent. Definitely going to get paid this offseason. And he's a big part of why this team is as good as they might be able to be.
And Durant just put his fingers in the defense there, but unable to knock down an open three. I mean, that's very uncharacteristic of him.
That's the exact shot they want Durant taking if we're the Brooklyn Nets.
I thought you were going to say if they're the Celtics.
No, absolutely not. The Celtics would rather Taj Gibson take that shot. And Tatum bounces off the screen for a three-pointer. They're going to need big production from him if they want to even stay in this series, as he's their main contributor on the offensive end of this. And there, Alex Caruso imitating his idol, LeBron James.
Well, the second GOAT candidate on the team, again, showing his inferiority to Michael Jordan. If Darth were watching this game, he'd be all over it. There'd be a GIF in the league chat right now.
Absolutely. Isaiah Stewart bullying LaMarcus Aldridge down low. Gets the easy two. Danilo Gallinari also on the court here for the Celtics. He was a trade deadline acquisition from the OKC Thunder. Commits the foul right there.
Oh, this Celtics team built of a lot of transplants. They traded for Gallinari, they traded for Alec Burks, and yeah, we're gonna see how those acquisitions are gonna help them in this series, or if it was all really for nothing.
Absolutely. Another one right here, also Reggie Jackson, who was a mid-season trade. I believe he was on the Heat earlier in the year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Then they traded for injured Dennis Schroeder, who we may or may not see in this year's playoffs.
Depending on how far Miami makes it.
Well, they're playing the Hawks, so it might not be that.
Might not be that far, but who knows? Dinwiddie gets the shoulder in. Great pass to LaMarcus Aldridge. He's going to knock that down. That's his shot.
Oh, they're really staying neck and neck.
Absolutely. We have not seen either team really pull out right here. And if you're the Nets, you want to just stay in this while your two stars are out of the game. And Tatum is still in here, so it's not like they have their entire bench in here like the Nets do.
Well, it's crazy because both these teams are overperforming like crazy. They're shooting above, the Nets are shooting above 70%, the Celtics around 60%, and those are wild shooting numbers. So we're going to see, it's just who returns to normal first.
Absolutely. Not much defense being played here necessarily, as Reggie Jackson gets the open dunk.
That's the prime example. I mean, if Reggie Jackson is getting dunks, then who's really guarding anybody?
And Alex Caruso, he says, let's go back for another time to the baseline. Steps out again, Celtics ball.
I think it's the line on the court. It's not clear enough where the boundary is. The big black mark, it's kind of blends in a little too much.
I'm sure LeBron is calling Commissioner Chuck as we speak to get this sorted out for the next half. Gallinari really can't get anything going here early. Tatum spins into 2 guys.
That's trouble when there's not enough off-ball movement. You have to make things on your own, but the defenders are staying still, so it becomes sort of an obstacle course to get to the basket.
Another miss from Dinwiddie right there. Bray's gonna pick it up, throw it into Gallinari in the post, and they're just gonna kick it right back out. Reset the offense. Reggie Jackson gets open. That's gonna be good. Good contribution here early from Reggie Jackson.
And these guys are not missing shots.
Wow, almost went in right there. 36-29. And if you're Brooklyn, you're not too upset with that, as LeBron and KD were sitting towards the end of the first quarter, but still, Boston has shown the ability right now to hit those wide open shots.
I mean, I'll definitely say if I were the Nets owner coming into this matchup, I wouldn't be worried whatsoever. I might not even set my coaching sheet. But, I mean, this quarter is an example of how you really can't underestimate a team in the NBN, especially one that's so close in record to you. And it's just up to the Celtics to prove the Nets wrong, to say that they should be taken seriously. And really all the people, all the doubters in the league that have pegged them as an easy sweep target.
Yes, and, you know, the general consensus right now in the East is that there are 4 main contenders, possibly, unless you're considering Indiana a pretender. And then Boston is kind of in that second tier of teams in the East, so they're looking to shake that notion.
I think the most surprising thing they could do is take this series to around 6, and I think, or I mean, maybe not as much as winning it, but even that would sort of shake what people thought about this team, and especially of the owner, that maybe there's not as much confidence in the moves made.
Brown stretches this lead to 12, and we might be seeing a quick return off the bench from LeBron and KD if this keeps going the way it is. Dinwiddie silences the run with a 3. Jaylen Brown in right now is the main facilitator. Tatum out. We get inside and get the floater. 11-point lead right now for the Boston Celtics. They are cruising.
Yeah, it seems like their players can get a shot whenever they want. And not so much for the Nets.
Shaw a little open for it to not convert right there.
A little surprising to me that Jahlil Okafor, he's getting minutes on a top-tier contender in the playoffs.
Wow. Jaylen Brown with the 3 right there extends the lead to 14, and he is pushing this Celtics team at the moment. Another miss from the Brooklyn Nets. They can't really get anything going right here. Oubre back into Jaylen Brown. He's hot right now. Puts that one in, and now we're at 16 points. The Celtics taking off early.
He's just ignoring the defense. There's no one in front of him in his eyes, and it shows. He's scoring whenever he wants, however he wants.
And Cheppy, this is the worry for the Nets, is that whenever KD and LeBron are not in the game, they will not be able to really hold on to leads or stay in games, and right now it's looking like that right here.
Well, I don't know. We just talked up their depth a whole lot, didn't we?
We did mention their surprising depth for a team this top-heavy, but right now their 6th man of the year has not been able to perform like the 6th man of the year, but LeBron comes right back in with the dunk and is going to try to get this team back in the game. Like we said, Spencer Dinwiddie has not really performed all that well as the main focus of the offense. And a foul from Robert Covington, one of the better defenders on this team, cannot stop Jaylen Brown as he gets to the line.
Yeah, see, this is going to be the trouble, I think, for LeBron is really, when you're the only person on your team that can do something, all the pressure is going to be on you. And especially if KD's on the bench, then it sort of becomes a one-man show, and that is definitely not sustainable for a full game, no matter how good you are.
LeBron gets in the post. No good. Not necessarily stifling defense, just kind of whipped on the shot right there. JB comes, sets the screen. Gets the rebound with the putback.
All cylinders firing in Boston. There's no, they need something, and I think he's coming to the scorer's table right now.
There is KD looking to check back in the game. LeBron can't get the screen to work. Shot clock going down, 3 seconds left. Gonna have to put something up. Loses the ball to Reggie Jackson. Gallinari from mid-range. His shot, never able to hit it, but Reggie Jackson goes back up, no good. LeBron's gonna run this fast break, try to get down there, get something. Can't find anything, resets at the top. Screen from Willie Cauley-Stein. Gonna get the ball here and just lose it. Not who you want to have the ball, and Kim is gonna go in the layup.
I would say the percentage of dribbles taken by Willie Cauley-Stein in the game should be a number close to 0, as that possession showed.
We saw the Magic try to really get Drew Eubanks involved as the main ball handler. That did not lead to a victory, so I would agree with that statement.
Don't remind me, that was a little messy. But here the subs are Taj Gibson and Kevin Durant. They're going to inject some life into the offense.
Tatum keeps it rolling with a 3 from the wing.
It's a 21-point lead for Boston. They have to be cheering in their front office right now. I mean, even if they lose the lead a little bit, right now it's, shows that their team is not a failure.
Gibson with the shot inside. 68% from the field for the Boston Celtics, and Brooklyn is shooting 52, but the turnovers are killing them right now. Good deep with Taj. No good from KD. Tatum is going to go for the line for 2.
Kevin Durant is playing some point guard with Spencer Dinwiddie on the bench.
That's right, looking to get something going. But another steal for Boston.
Oh, too ambitious from Tatum there. He tried to do it behind the back when he was 2 feet away from the basket. That's not going to get you on the right kind of highlight reel.
Putting a little bit with that 20-point lead, and LeBron's going to get inside for the easy jam.
Yeah, the thing is, when he drives, you can't really stop him. He just keeps going no matter what. So I think at that point, the best thing you can do is not foul him, which is not always going to work out.
And he tried to get down there again, but got stopped on the fast break by Jaylen Brown. Gibson with the screen. LeBron goes back inside for another jam. And that seems to be the only offense right now for the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, it's very effective right now. I mean, Jaylen Brown had his hands draped all over LeBron James, could do nothing but watch as he dunked it right over him.
Tatum gets inside on Joe Harris. Nice reverse layup.
Oh, that's finesse.
And almost like a full court press, or a toned down version of it, with Tatum defending the inbound.
Yeah, they're hyped up right now.
Durant, another 3, and just trading blows right now. The Nets are going to have to get some stops right here. 61-45 with 4 minutes left here. What do the Nets got to do?
They got to play defense, plain and simple. Look at the Celtics. Look at their shooting percentages. They are killing it. They are setting the world on fire. And some of these fans, their shirts are going to be green by the end of the night, I think, if it keeps going this way.
Wow. Another great roll by Jaylen Brown. Gets the Celtics back up to that 18-point lead. Grant, mid-range shot, not able to hit it. And they are just trading isolation possessions right now. Not getting back on defense as Tatum gets the jam. Back up to 20 points and just very lackadaisical right now from the Brooklyn Nets.
Right now, Tatum is running the floor. He's guarding Durant on the inbound on the other side of the court and then running straight back.
LeBron gets a 3 to quiet the run. But again, like we said, not much defense right now from the Brooklyn Nets, and that's hurting them.
Well, they're going to get yelled at halftime. I don't know how much authority the coach has on a team with LeBron and Durant, but he's going to try his best to get them to wake up, because that's what they really need right now.
Tatum tries to get to the rim, but Durant possibly rejects that shot. And
I wouldn't
comes
call that
on
a block.
the other side. No good for 3. Tatum able to connect on that.
Well, that's the shot that Durant couldn't hit the possession right before. So kind of being showed up a little bit by the younger player.
Tatum playing great defense right now on KD. Contests that shot very well as JB is able to pound the rebound down.
Now we've had games where Tatum does not really show up, where he's maybe a little slow on getting going, but this one right out of the gates, he's probably playing much better than Durant is at this current point, and he's taking this team far
at a high rate. Hitting his shots at a high rate, and he's played great defense today. The two, like we said early on, tough task for Tatum and Jaylen Brown, as they're gonna have to guard LeBron and KD most of this series, but they've done a fantastic job so far. Durant wide open, somebody messed up right there, and he hits the wide open 3.
and he's so visible. It's the most visible threat probably on this team other than LeBron, or maybe even more so, so you cannot leave him open ever. There's no excuse.
Tatum comes off the screen right there, tries to get a quick shot up, no good. LeBron's going to try to run this fast break right here. Mismatch on Kemba Walker, and doesn't use it. Durant, contested 3, no good. Not necessarily the shot you want.
And Durant has a lot of confidence. He'll call the ball even if he's being double teamed. He'll call for the ball even when he's being double teamed, but you gotta, as the playmaker, you have to know what position is good for your offense, what position is good for your team.
And secondary GOAT Alex Caruso not able to get that to fall. Jaylen Brown goes back in, no good. Some ugly possessions here for both teams. Durant's gonna get inside, get blocked by Jason Tatum. Another good defensive play.
That one-on-one matchup we've been seeing a lot of, and I think we're going to see a lot more of. Tatum versus Durant. Wow.
Jaylen Brown with the reverse dunk in traffic. Bold move right there.
Oh, when you got a 20-point lead on one of the best teams in the league, I think you can showboat a little bit. You've earned it.
Burks back in the game for the Celtics, as well as Isaiah Stewart. Guarding LeBron right here. Dinwiddie wide open from mid-range, able to hit it. Back in the game now, and they're going to need some more help from him. You could argue he's probably the 3rd ball handler on this team, so they want to see him create his own shot a little bit more.
I mean, that trio of LeBron, Durant, and Dinwiddie, it's potent offensively. It's very, very potent. So we're going to see if they can turn things around.
Man, the Celtics, tough shot after tough shot, keeping them going here in the second quarter. Caruso able to hit that three from LeBron. Brooklyn's
That's why
gonna need their shooters to hit.
Of course, and that's why LeBron is probably the worst person to double in the entire league, is because he will always find the open man. I mean, second probably only to Nikola Jokic.
LeBron half court, no good, and Boston takes a 19-point lead into the half. And not looking great here, but when you have two of maybe the top players in the entire league on your team, anything can happen, but they're going to need to come out firing on all cylinders in this second half.
And if you saw, we had Jaylen Brown there with 27 points in the half. He's on pace for 54 if he keeps up his pace from this half. And I mean, I'll be excited to see some kind of historic upset here, even if it is the Celtics. No offense to anyone, but
Storied rivalry between owners BJ and Chevy.
I mean, I never met him in the playoffs, so.
Well, BJ never made it very far in the playoffs either, so.
Well, maybe this year could be different. Looking at how game
different.
1 is going, you know, I think he has hope. And last game we saw a close game turn into a blowout in the third quarter. Maybe this game will be a blowout into a close game.
Durant, great move right there, gets to the rim, and you kind of like to see KD do a little bit more of that. LeBron has been getting to the rim, and KD definitely capable as well.
Before he's been getting shut down by Tatum, now we're going to see if the matchup is going to be different. Now that they've had time to reassess what's going on.
Tatum. And JV puts it up, and
Oh,
that did not count.
Yeah, that won't count, but he
Close.
made it.
That was close.
Very, very close.
Tatum needs to be more aware of the clock right there, as it just went down, and he wasn't even facing the basket. LeBron to Willie Cauley-Stein for the lead.
And Valanciunas lost his man there. Willie Cauley-Stein running right past him for the U, because he knows you just have to run at the hoop. You're going to get the ball. LeBron.
No good. Can score the line. Second shot is gonna fall for the point guard out of Utah. 77-60 game. Joe Harris wide open, but they're gonna go to Willie Cauley-Stein. 2 men open right there. Bad rotation from the Celtics, and still shooting 63% though.
Yeah, the gap is going to be hard to overcome, but every half is a new game. So for the Celtics, it's not really about maintaining their percentages, but just staying where they are right now with the points. Up 15. They don't want to let Brooklyn back in.
Robert Covington, not necessarily his go-to shot, but hits a mid-range right there to get the Nets back in within 13. Tatum pops out. Nice pass to Kemba Walker down low. And he's going to have to start doing more of that as they begin to possibly double team him as we get further into this game. LeBron, tough shot. Not necessarily what he wants to get, but he and KD have had to force a little bit right here. Another great shot from Kemba Walker, and one man Kemba Walker who has kind of disappeared at times and looked like the third wheel of this big three here in Boston has really showed up today. Another three right there from the Nets.
Yeah, I definitely think if you were to ask people in this league, you know, name a declining, aging point guard who's not worth his contract, Kemba Walker would be one of the names that come to mind, but he's still got some gas left in the tank, and he's not washed up yet.
Playing well today so far. Tatum to Burks, wide open. And the double off of Tatum right now. Not producing the results the Nets would like, as he has hit 2 open men now for buckets. And double on LeBron. Into Willie Cauley-Stein, no good. So we're seeing a lot of double teams here right now in the game. And switches both free throws.
Tatum playing some point guard right now, bringing the ball up.
Burks, another 3. No good, but he has hit those today. Joe Harris handling the ball here.
And this guy hasn't really scored much, but you see his potential on the playmaking end now.
Good cut from LeBron, going in there with the offense not really moving, getting something to go.
Even when LeBron doesn't have the ball, you have to have eyes on him at all times. He knows exactly where to position himself. He knows exactly how the defense is situated, and he's going to take advantage of whatever he is looking at right now.
No good right there from Alec Burks. And Katie's going to take it back on the other end, not able to convert on that fast break. Throws it out to Joe Harris. He's not going to take that. Very capable of hitting it, though. Back into KD's got the mismatch. Throws it back out to Joe Harris. That's good. Great offense right there from the Brooklyn Nets.
Joe Harris, a tough shooter, and you do not want to see him get hot, because amidst the threats of LeBron and Durant, getting someone who's not them hot is a recipe for disaster.
And they're going to try to run this fast break right now. LeBron wide open off the cut. Thought maybe we were going to see a oop right there, but still a dunk. And they've got
back
this
to
within
single digits.
Correct, single digits right here, 9 points. And Brooklyn is rolling right now.
Might see a timeout from Boston if they can't.
Wow! Jaylen Brown!
That's a poster. That's going on my bedroom wall. Holy.
Oh my goodness. And LeBron looking for someone to blame, but there is no one to blame right now for that one. Jaylen Brown skied up for that dunk and absolutely hammered it. As Loris would say, he absolutely, I can't seem to recall the infamous Tatum copy pasta, but Kimba right back at it. He boomed him, yes, correct.
Yeah, that was a boom. LeBron has in his years playing been boomed by both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Dinwiddie not able to hit the 3. And man, oh man, that Jaylen Brown dunk has taken some wind out of the sails of the Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, LeBron answered right back with a layup right afterwards, but it doesn't even matter. These guys are pumped up.
And wow, Kemba Walker responds with a 3. Shades of cardiac Kemba from his UConn days. Willie Cauley-Stein for 3? No good, and that is definitely not what you want to see.
That's the second time he's found himself wide open. I guess he decided he might as well just take the shot.
And a good defensive possession from LeBron there. Finds Dinwiddie down low and gets it back to 12 points.
But I think right now the Celtics are comfortable. They take the timeout, though.
Dude, they have weathered the storm from the Brooklyn Nets. Didn't let it get out of control there, as the Nets were starting to turn defense into offense. But still a 12-point game, and you got to get impressed with the Celtics' composure here.
Yeah, they've been delivering a lot of jabs. When the Nets hit them back, they took it, and they're still in it. And they have their lead. It's double digits. It's really strong. So all they have to do is just keep going how they're going right now, which is just answering back when the Nets are having good offense.
Isaiah Stewart having a really good game for a rookie here off the bench.
Rookie. I mean, you never want to see a center miss a shot right at the rim. Isaiah Stewart not disappointing anybody.
Wow. Great pass. Taj Gibson finishes it off. LeBron doing all he can right now to keep this team in the game, but they simply cannot get stops on the defensive end.
All right, now the Celtics are playing like they're having fun, and the Nets are playing like they're under pressure. So that really is the difference.
Gallinari not able to hit it, but fights for the rebound, and the Celtics are going to get it back. Quiet day from Danilo Gallinari, who the Celtics viewed as a premier acquisition at the trade deadline. Crucial to foul. But to be fair, they have not needed Danilo Gallinari today.
Now with Jaylen Brown putting up 30 in 3/4.
12 of 17 on 31 points is just absolutely magnificent from Jaylen Brown. Can't play much better than that.
In their last regular season matchup, I think Jaylen Brown put up 4 points. So to see him go to this extent and make this comeback is it's a story, you know. It'll be on Twitter, I think.
The two stars of each team dueling right now. KD, of course, out right now. You would imagine that he'll be back in for the fourth quarter, most of it at least. Jaylen Brown back in, and Caruso cannot stop him. Jaylen Brown, man who was only averaging 19 points a game this season, has already 33 in the third quarter. Caruso ball handling right here. Decides to take the three. No good.
He's definitely not the guy you want taking the pull-up three.
On the other end, Danilo Gallinari runs the floor and gets rewarded. And Cheppy, I mean, when it is LeBron out here only, I would imagine if you're the Nets, the only guy you want to be controlling the offense is LeBron James and maybe Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, well, apparently the Nets have a different plan. They want to let Alex Caruso ball handle a little bit, and you see the benefits of letting LeBron have the ball. It just leads to free points for your team. So maybe these Nets will reconsider their plan. Jaylen Brown, I don't know. He's contributing on every level of the game possible. Playing defense, he's gathering assists, he's dunking the ball whenever he wants. It's a show, man. I think people would have expected this from KD, not from Jaylen Brown.
And it's definitely a complete game from him, and Dinwiddie comes alive right here with the and one, converts it, and the Nets are down by 13. They were down by 9 at one point. They got it within single digits, but nothing further than that so far. Gallinari on Aldridge. Back to Tatum now. He gets doubled. Throws it to Gallinari for three. No good. Good rebound by the Nets, and the Nets are going to look to exploit this Tatum-only lineup. And gets the foul. Dinwiddie's going back to the line. And, you know, like I just said, LeBron and KD now in the game together, and no Jaylen Brown. He's going to take a rest. And you'd hope, if you're the Nets, you can cut down on this lead while he's out of the game.
Well, right now you got one of the Nets' best lineups out there with KD, LeBron, Aldridge, and Dinwiddie all on the floor at the same time. So we're just going to see how they're going to take advantage of this. You know, this is kind of like their Hail Mary, their version of the Hampton Five, or whatever the Warriors would call it. So we'll see if they can live up to the expectations that are on them right now. I think the wrong guy is taking the shots right now.
Absolutely. Only down 11, and they were starting to roll. Good steal from LaMarcus Aldridge. Quick hands. Dinwiddie back on the other end. They can't convert the fast break, and he puts up a three. Again, just quick shots and not good ones. Tatum pulls up. Bang. Hits that for three. Back to a 14-point lead, and The Celtics are capitalizing off of some very questionable offensive possessions of the Nets.
Well, pull-up threes, you have to be careful with them early in the shot clock. They're either desperation or they're the result of confidence. And for Tatum, it was confidence. For Dinwiddie, it was desperation. And you really don't have to be. Right now, we're not even in the fourth yet. There's plenty of time for things to turn around, for Boston to lose their lead, and for the Nets to make a comeback. So you don't have to be hasty with your shot taking.
Isaiah Stewart to Tatum. In his mouth. Tatum hits the three.
It's raw.
LeBron likely going to take the last shot here.
Nice, Hill.
Hits the step back. LeBron gets it within 15. Reggie Jackson from half court. No good. And the Nets yo-yoing this big lead of the Celtics. They have not been able to really get it close as Tatum came right back in and did what Brown was doing by carrying the Celtics offense.
Yeah, exactly. He picked up right where he left off, and that's, if you're the Nets, that had to be the #1 priority of what not to do. And we get another look at that amazing dunk from Jaylen Brown.
Disgusting poster from Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, he's a man.
Celtics, you're happy to see this confidence from one of your two main guys. Jaylen Brown, quick rest, back in. Russo, wide open three, hits it, and they get this back to 12.
Now, even though he hit that shot, I think you don't want him taking this many shots. I mean, I feel like he's taking too many when you have this amount of talent on the court that the Nets do.
And you would also like to see maybe Joe Harris back in the game taking that shot compared to Alex Russo. Jaylen Brown finds Gallinari. What a dime from Jaylen Brown. Doing it all today.
Yeah, now that we've entered the fourth, I mean, we actually are in crunch time now. This isn't the time to be sloppy with your defensive rotations.
KD with a tough left-handed floater, and honestly, the two stars are matching the other two stars for the Nets and the Celtics, but the others, per se, of the Celtics have really come out today. Durant, leaning fadeaway shot, hits it, back to 11. Gallinari pulls up. And if you're Covington, you have to put a hand up. Get closer to an elite shooter like Danilo Gallinari.
Yeah, he's not been flashy with his play tonight, but he can be. And any of these players, they're just waiting for the ball so they can wake up, they can knock a few shots down and make the defense regret leaving them alone.
Durant doing his best right here to keep the Nets in the game, but they can just not get defensive stops. Gallinari in the post on Rocco. No good. Good defense right there. Dinwiddie has the ball. Gets inside. No and one, but he's going to the line to possibly make this a 10-point game.
In taking assists or taking fouls early in the fourth quarter, it's important. The sooner you get into the bonus as a team, it really opens up a lot of opportunities for you as we get right into the second half of the quarter and the last section of the game, where it becomes a lot more physical and a lot more grindy.
Right. Jaylen Brown, leaner, no good. Good defense right there from the Nets, and Durant's going to pick it up. And interesting, as no foul call. He was expecting a foul call, it seems like, and just steps out of bounds.
Well, yeah, Isaiah Stewart stood like right in front of him, pushed KD. I think out of bounds, but the refs see it a different way, and as we know, they are never wrong.
You have to be careful. There's a little bit of technical right here. Instead of this comeback. Grant tries to steal it. Oh my goodness! 2 for 2!
What's going on?
Back to back.
I think this guy's a little juice out of his mind.
I cannot believe that. A poster in the same game on Durant and LeBron James. Jaylen Brown almost with a 40-piece tonight. Out of his mind.
I think we're going to see a random drug test after the game. Jaylen Brown.
I would not be surprised. Oubre, good cut. And Isaiah Stewart with the dime. And the Celtics just keep on keeping on. No lookage of stopping this offensive workload. And Durant not able to hit it, but Danny Stein gets the rebound and he's going to the line for 2.
Staying steady here, double digits.
I cannot say that I'm not astounded by Jaylen Brown's performance today.
Oh yeah, well look, listen, this is a guy, I definitely think there were low expectations for him going off the last regular season matchup where he was invisible, and now he is showing what happens when he really turns it on. And it's a real crazy game for him so far. I think this is one that a lot of people are going to remember.
The Walker gets inside. Good defense by Dinwiddie, but he gets the rebound and gets out. Absolutely. If not for the 40-piece that he might put up this game, the 2 dunks will be immortalized on the walls of white kids everywhere in Boston, Massachusetts.
And well, honestly, I think the guys in the arena right now, they're going to be pretty quiet at the end of the game if Jaylen does any more work on these nets. You know, these are fans that were expecting a blowout. I definitely think so. Even though this is a 4-5 matchup, people did not have a lot of faith in the Boston Celtics, and look at the fight they're putting up.
Jaylen Brown almost challenging KD to come and defend him. Gets inside. Oh, good, but he's going back to the line for 2.
And they can run the pick and roll as many times as they want. Jaylen Brown has shown it is a productive play call for him.
And you gotta wonder when LeBron's gonna come back in this game. 7 minutes left. You would have expected that he'd be back in by now.
Well, the machinations of the Nets coach are an enigma.
And another mid-range shot. And Cheppy, it's starting to fall into a dangerous area for the Nets with almost 7 minutes left in this game.
No, you definitely have to get LeBron in right now. I mean, the game is on the line, and this isn't just some regular season matchup. It means nothing. This is the playoffs. You have to put everything on the line, even for game 1, round 1.
Oko, no good. 15-point lead. They're looking to extend it. Kimball with the ball. Gets inside. Gets fouled again. They cannot stop fouling this Celtics team. Looks like LeBron is still out of the game. Wow. And is this an admission of defeat, possibly?
Oh, well, 17 points is not impossible to overcome. But it's definitely hard. Oh, and that is not what you need.
That's not what you need right there. Spencer Dinwiddie steps out.
I think that's probably the 4th turnover just from stepping out of bounds for the Nets. And it's just indicative of the kind of frustration they're dealing with right now.
And you know, when it comes to this Brooklyn Nets team, of course, KD still locked into his contract here for a number of years. But LeBron James denied an extension from this team twice. And possibly, you know, if they happen to get upset here in the first round, major implications for the Nets. You know, everything could be on the line.
Well,
Tie up right here.
They're hard. I mean, the front office is sweating more than the players right now. You know, the players can come back, run it back another year, whatever. But for the front office, you know, what's the team going to look like in a year if you lose in the first round?
Right. Big decisions for a lot of these Eastern Conference teams with free agent all-stars. And a 3 from Joe Harris to get this back to 14. Kawhi Leonard in Indiana, Paul George and AD in Atlanta. A lot of these teams want to succeed here in the playoffs to show their all-stars that their team is where they want to be. Wow. Reggie Jackson not letting up.
Seems like all the cards are turning up for the Celtics. Not one bit of unluckiness to be seen. I mean, they're just hitting everything on everyone.
And the Celtics up by 14 here. And LeBron finally coming back into the game, but maybe too late. Good defense there from the Nets. They're going to need a stoppage, though, to get him back in. Rocco pulls up from 3. No good. That's not what you want. Kimba back inside. No good. Good defense from Joe Harris right there. Dinwiddie's going to go all the way here to the hole. No good. And possibly a blessing in disguise as LeBron is going to enter the game now with a stoppage of play.
With 12 points, 4 minutes left, it's not looking impossible for the Nets to come back.
And LeBron actually went back to the bench.
Wait, well, okay.
I cannot believe this.
I can't explain it.
LeBron goes back to the bench after the first Dinwiddie free throw, and I'm just as confused as everybody else watching at home right now as to what just happened.
You think he wanted to sub in for Dinwiddie, but Dinwiddie was taking the free throws?
It could have been the possibility right there. Back to a 10-point game, but he is returned to the bench. He is not even on the scorer's table right now. As Reggie Jackson skies for the dunk, and we're getting close to a dangerous time here, and LeBron James with no intention of re-entering the game as we get down to the 3-minute mark.
The coach has decided Dinwiddie is a surer bet than LeBron, so I hope he enjoys this day on the bench.
Joe Harris gets it back to 10, and this is a 10-point game, Cheppy. I mean, I just do not understand this.
It's hard to understand. I don't think there is I don't think the owner right now is happy with this turn of events, but you know, when you hire a coach, I guess you have to stand by his decisions.
Dinwiddie gets out. 5 seconds left. Gets inside. Tatum with the defense. Back out to Rocco for the mid-range. That's good. Down to 8. And again, the Nets have a chance here.
It's manageable. It's definitely
reach.
manageable.
And LeBron is still out of the game.
I think right now you have to deny a 3-point shot. Oh, here we might see a sub.
Timeout. We might see a sub right here. You're obviously you're experienced playing in the country of Kazakhstan professionally for 8 years. What would make you think that LeBron wouldn't be in the game right now? You know what from a player's perspective?
But you know what? Spencer Dinwiddie just seems like a swell guy, and maybe it would hurt his feelings if he got subbed out. So we have to keep
Spencer Dinwiddie is a free agent this summer, so you know.
Yeah, so is LeBron, but you know you have to have priorities. I mean,
right.
Dinwiddie's been on the league, he's been on the team longer, so you know.
LeBron James still on the bench with 2:28. Is Skip Bayless over there coaching for the Nets? Who knows?
I mean,
an excellent shot from Kemba Walker as we get down to the 2-minute mark in this game. 10-point lead for the Boston Celtics.
yeah, I would say you have to make your run right now.
Good move from Willie Cauley-Stein. They got to get a stop here. I think you have to get a stop here.
I'd say this is a pretty vital possession. Double team.
Good double team. JB gets blocked by KD. No good.
He's running. He's running.
Dinwiddie's going to hit the ball at the top of the key.
Dinwiddie, the LeBron replacement. He has to show that it was worth it.
KD, tough shot, no good, and that's going to hurt. You really needed to come up with points right there.
Yeah, and I definitely see the potential for a dagger right now in the hands of Jaylen Brown, tonight's phenomenon.
Kimba. And that might be all she wrote tonight. 112 left. As you can see, LeBron had a 14 for 18 game, but I guess that just wasn't good enough. They almost didn't get it across half court right there.
And Jason Tatum's hounding LeBron right now. I mean, Durant.
And now they're saying it's Kevin Durant out there. Joe Harris gets inside. No good. He gets the rebound. Back out to KD for 3. That's good. We got a 7-point
They're down
game,
7. I don't think it's really.
Is LeBron coming back in? Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron decides to come back in the game with 30 seconds left. And I don't know if there's going to be a stoppage of play. And Alex Caruso as well, the 2 GOATs. Coming back in. KD for 3. No good. And
that's it. That means game 1 is going to go to the Boston Celtics.
LeBron returns right back to the bench after that rebound.
Yeah, I guess he just thought it wasn't really worth his time. That's twice he's walked to the scorer's table and then walked back. I mean, he's getting some cardio at least.
What is going on in Brooklyn, New York, ladies and gentlemen? This game will be the discussion of many talk shows tomorrow morning as LeBron James just decides not to enter the game. I am very interested to hear Skip Bayless's take on this entire situation. Is there trouble in Brooklyn?
I mean, it took so much from the Celtics to win this game, but you have to hand it to them. I mean, they kept it up all game. It wasn't just one quarter and then they fell back down to earth. They were on fire and they never stopped. I would, seek help.
Wow. Jaylen Brown, 2 absolutely insane dunks. This one right here on KD. I mean, he did not let up. Tatum with a great game as well, as the Celtics win 136 to 127.
We're going to extract some box scores right now.
Your broadcast here of game 1 between the 4 and the 5 seed, as the Celtics absolutely on fire, shooting an insane percentage from the field. Not a single person on their team, except maybe Gallinari, shot a bad percentage as they put up 58% from the field. This has been Cheppy and Johnny, and we hope you have enjoyed our broadcast of today's game.